Good afternoon, Uniontown Red Raider families. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected us all in different ways. We realize that there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding many aspects of our lives, and our decision to return to school was not taken lightly. This will be no easy task, and we will need your assistance to ensure the safety and well-being of our students and staff. This video will assist you in preparing for your child's return and hopefully answer any questions you may have regarding procedures that we will implement or measures that have or will be taken in order to maintain a safe and healthy learning environment. The reopening dates in the calendar. The phased reopening plan for families that selected in-person learning will begin on Monday, October 19th, starting with kindergarten, 1st, and 9th grade students. Students in grades 2, 3, and 10 will return on Wednesday, October 21st, followed by grades 4, 5, 6, and 11 starting Monday, October 26th. Students in grades 7, 8, and 12 will return on Wednesday, October 28th. Please pay close attention to the remote days highlighted in yellow on the revised calendar. On these days, all students district-wide will participate in remote instruction. There will not be a live feature on these days, as your teachers will be using this time to prepare upcoming lessons. Home screening tool. Parents and guardians are asked to screen their children daily before they leave for school. The Pennsylvania Department of Health and the Pennsylvania Department of Education have provided school districts with a home symptom screening tool that we strongly encourage all parents and guardians to utilize every morning. If your child is exhibiting symptoms that meet the criteria listed, it is highly recommended that you keep your child home from school until the symptoms have improved or resolved. A copy of the screening tool, along with a letter explaining the district's expectations of its use and instructions on how to properly wear a face covering, will be sent home with each student on their first day of returning to in-person learning. This information will also be available on the district's webpage and shared on the school's social media pages. Thermal imaging cameras. The Uniontown Area School District has secured and installed thermal imaging cameras in all school buildings as a preventative measure to ensure everyone's safety. Students' temperatures will be taken by a thermal imaging camera as they enter the buildings. Any student who reads a temperature of 100.4 or higher will be escorted to the nurse's office for additional screening. Health room screening tool. Nurses will use the health room screening tool when additional screening is required. The criteria listed on the health room screening tool is the same as what is listed on the home screen tool provided to families. If a student exhibits these symptoms and meets the criteria provided by the Pennsylvania Department of Health and the Pennsylvania Department of Education at any time during the school day, the nurse will contact the child's parent or guardian and arrangements will be made for the child to return home. Parents and guardians will be asked to follow the guidelines provided by the Pennsylvania Department of Health and the Pennsylvania Department of Education for when the child should return to school. These guidelines are included on the health room screening tool, and a copy will be provided to the parents and guardians when picking up their child. Transportation. Face coverings are required to be worn by all students at all times while on district transportation, including vans. Buses will be loaded back to front to limit student interactions and congregations. Students will be assigned seats according to the order in which they are picked up in the mornings and will be expected to sit in those seats daily to and from school. Members of the same household will be assigned to the same seat to the extent possible. To maximize safety and limit the number of contacts, no deviations or changes will be made to scheduled transportation. All students will ride their regularly assigned bus as per their address. No bus passes will be issued for students to ride another bus to or from school. Please make arrangements for students to be picked up in the event that they need to go home in another manner than their assigned bus. Face coverings. Due to the Secretary of Pennsylvania Department of Health's order on August 17th, mandatory face coverings apply to all students, staff, and visitors aged 2 and older while in school entities, including public K-12 schools, which are brick and mortar. A face covering means a covering of the nose and mouth that is secured to the head with ties, straps, or loops over the ears, or is wrapped around the lower face. For any in-person instruction, face coverings are required to be worn by students and staff at all times, including school buses, cafeteria, classrooms, hallways, and in other large gatherings. Students will be given opportunities for mask breaks throughout the day. Students will be required also to social distance during the scheduled mask breaks. Visitors policy. Due to the recent COVID-19 pandemic, changes have been made to the Uniontown Area School District visitors procedures to ensure the safety of all students, staff, and visitors. Any parent or guardian requesting to meet with district personnel, such as the building principal, will need to schedule an appointment with the building secretary in advance. Only the parent and or guardian will be permitted to meet with the district personnel. Please do not bring other guests. Any parent or guardian who is scheduled to meet with district personnel should self-monitor prior to their appointment. If you are sick, please call the building secretary and reschedule your appointment. Upon arrival at the school, all visitors must wear a face covering and have their temperature checked upon entering the buildings. Visitors will be asked to provide their driver's license or identification card to security. Visitors will be required to sign in and sign out, and they will be escorted to their destination by security. All bags, purses, etc. are subject to search prior to entry into the school. 15 minutes prior to dismissal. To maximize safety by reducing congregations of people in the buildings, early dismissals will not occur starting 15 minutes prior to student dismissal. We understand that emergencies arise and ask that parents and guardians are asked to contact the school in the event that a student requires an early dismissal within this time frame. Parents must adhere to all visitor policies in place when picking up their student. Attendance policy. The district's attendance policy for students has been revised to include flexibility in the number of days students will be excused by parental notification. Previously, students were given a maximum of 10 days of excused parental absences. The policy has been changed to reflect a total of 20 days in which a student would be considered excused with parental notification. This information can be found on the district's website and in the student handbook. Water fountains. Touchless water filling stations have been installed in all buildings, and they will replace the use of water fountains. Students are asked to bring their own reusable water bottle for use throughout the day and are expected to take water bottles home to be cleaned on a daily basis. Water bottles should not be shared with other students. Our district principals have worked endlessly to ensure that our buildings are prepared to open their doors to welcome our students back in a safe and healthy environment. Cafeterias, classrooms, and hallways have all been redesigned to adhere to social distancing and other safety measures. Each school has created a welcome back video to highlight the changes students will see upon entering starting Monday, October 19th. These videos can be found on each school's webpage as well as their social media pages. We are looking forward to seeing our students' faces and looking forward to welcoming them all back to Raider Nation. Thank you and enjoy the weekend.